So, life is strange. We hear about the many circles in our lives. Circles from the circle of life to the spiral of depression. Circles seem to be an infinite, but I choose to look at a circle more like a roundabout, with exits and options. Many valid, but many hard to see when you only look at the middle of the circle. In the dark of a foggy night, that night can seem endless. Some exits look like exits, but are endless roads. Some have clear drop-offs that you never see coming, but are catastrophic. The closer to exiting the circle, the brighter it gets out, and the more the fog begins to lift. Some paths will always seem dimly lit, but I assure you that the light will grow ever brighter. The fear of the darkness is one I know well. My life seems to have been one problem after another. My story is one I fear, but I know I need to tell, to inspire and to leave hope for others. Men shouldn't fear telling their stories. Together, we will all grow and get stronger. Division just leads to fear and blight. Disease is spread from both the body and the mind, and it can even be spread from one to the other. In the case of my story, the body and the mind go hand in hand. My story starts in a small town, small house, living on a teacher's salary and an on and off seasonal cook. Bills and debts worth more than everything we owned. Being the son of a teacher, I got along great with the teachers, much better than I did with the students. That led to how I got my generalized anxiety disorder and my depression. While I couldn't blame my parents for their constant fights, for divorcing, making it seem like a side had to be chosen, like years as a family meant nothing. Sometimes, maybe I blamed myself. I was a smart kid, probably too smart for my own good. Smart enough to see my family wouldn't work out, but in the end, I knew it was for the better. Friend is still a word I struggle with. I have found the word to have meaning, however scarce I choose to use it. It has importance, an importance that I can't deny as much as my wits have disagreed with me. I was born with ADHD. Up until a few years ago, I felt stuck in a land I knew nothing about, surrounded by people I understood too well, but could never relate to. People I thought I could never escape. Picked on by just about everyone around me, I felt doomed, like there was nothing I could do to get away, as if my mother was the only one who cared. It was around this time that I realized not all mental health issues come from birth. Some come from experience. So I played football, knowing the risk to my health, having fallen off a deck the year before, and I hurt my back from falling off the deck. So naturally playing football, I hurt myself. I ended up not returning to school for the last month of my grade 9 year, excluding the grad recital and the day of the graduation. I felt like I wasn't missed at all, but I gave them all a chance. Fortunately, my father offered to take me in to live with him in Charlottetown. From then on, my life changed. My life went from bullying to threats of violence, issues with my family to issues with the strangers I elected to live with. From then on, life somewhat improved. I met the first group of people I came to call friends. College could be called a train wreck, a waste of time and money. While I picked up a few friends and moved back into town after moving back home only to travel to town every day for 3 years to go to school, that year all I learned was my back was only seeming to get worse. However, I hadn't lost hope. After a car accident just before college, and another car accident in college, I went on to work. My first real job that lasted more than a couple weeks. I quickly realized it wasn't practical for me to work, but economic stress made me continue to work. I worked myself to the bone, eventually going on a 4-month medical leave, which revealed to me that rest is not enough to fix my issues. I reluctantly returned to a job that was just making the issues worse. At this point, hope was a word I had forgotten. My ability to work going down fast, I was struggling with the ability to walk and to even stand. So I changed jobs to one closer to home, hoping that would help. While work continues to be very difficult for me, I can say without a doubt that I understand the meaning of hope. With a diagnosis being just steps away after finding a doctor and a chiropractor who believed that there was something wrong with me, and getting treatment to help manage my issues, I know now that my issues will never heal. They can only be managed. But hope comes to me in knowing that my life isn't over. In the same way that I know my mental health can improve, and I take pride in knowing that it has. Friendship is a huge part of my battle. While I have never been great at conveying how much they mean to me and how much they do to help me, I cannot say that I could do this alone. Friends, even in very small ways that they might not even know, help me keep going. But medication is nothing to be ignored. I never wanted to go on meds, as I wanted to be on as few as possible, having been on a ton of pain meds, as I had no diagnosis. They didn't know what was wrong, so it was just one thing after the other. Eventually, I agreed to try antidepressants for the mental health issues, and so far, it has been a great decision. The fear of being alone, my friends abandoning me, my family dying in a car accident, and being totally paralyzed. These things plagued me to no end, and they just melted away. While they haunt me still, I can look past them and see confidently towards the future. The circle has ways out. Medication, friends, family, doctors. While the circle seems endless, there are reasons to keep going. Fighting the odds, seeing your dreams through, being there for others who need you. The circle gives us as much purpose as it seems to take away. Everyone has a chance to see it, dark, and to see the light. If you don't give yourself a chance to have hope, to let others in, to get help, the fog might never lift. I promise, if you give yourself a chance, the fog can lift. It is a battle. It won't usually be an overnight change, but one day can make all the difference. Talking to one friend, talking to one therapist, seeing one doctor, taking one day away, a chance is what you need. My future seems dark. A potentially genetic disease kick-started by physical trauma, leading to chronic pain that will just get worse. Chronic pain patient and mental health advocate for life. These are facts of my life that will never change. My depression and anxiety won't totally go away. Life for me will always be difficult, but I let my circle have a chance, some hope, and even a little bit of faith in others. I figured out my reason to go on. Give yourself a chance to find the way to brighten your circle. And I don't charge for hugs. Thanks.